Welcome back, everybody. According to the Public Health Agency of Canada, there were more than 72,000 reported cases of the flu last year. And the season was also known as a triple-demic, including RSV and COVID.
So numbers like that put a strain on the healthcare system and also impact many vulnerable Canadians. So as we've now re-entered cold and flu season for 2023, what should we keep in mind for this time of year? So back with very helpful information right now, family physician Dr. Sheila Wijayasinghe is back.
Thank you so much for being here. All right, so let's dive right in. All right, so what is predicted for this cold and flu season?
So we're already in it.
Yeah.
It started in October, and we know it's a combination of all the different viruses. There's rhinoviruses, COVID, RSV, and influenza, and they're peaking. Probably in December we'll see a peak, and we'll probably see another peak in February as well. And so we're in it in the middle of it. The good news is we learned a lot from the pandemic and how we can prevent it. On average, adults will get about 2 to 5 infections every year. Kids will get 6 to 10. So I always like to normalize that we will be exposed to viruses this year.
Yeah.
How can we prevent it? And that's what we're here for.
Okay.
Let's start with this, and I know it's a very basic question, but just for the record, what is an actual fever?
It's not a basic question.
Okay.
Everyone asks this. It's very important. So our normal body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. A fever is technically 38 and up.
Okay.
Sometimes people say 37.5, but it's actually 38.
38, okay.
Yeah, and why that's important is that we don't need to be afraid of a fever. A fever is our body's natural reaction to fighting off a virus or a bacteria. People will call and say, do I need to treat it? You don't have to treat it if your child or yourself are feeling well, you're hydrating well. But if you feel really sick or you have other symptoms accompanying it, like difficulty breathing, a rash, stiff neck, those are reasons to get help. We treat for comfort. If you're well and it's been 3 or 4 days, don't worry. If it goes beyond 4 to 5 days, you want to get help to make sure it's nothing else.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, can we talk about thermometers, especially as moms? I mean, trying to take the temperature of a young child. So what kind, where should we be taking the temp?
I think during the pandemic, many of us went out and bought things like thermometers. And so very common things the best ones are the digital ones. Those are the ones that are automatic. They can be oral, they can be in the armpit area, the ear. And in kids under 2, the rectal thermometer is actually the best option to give us the most accurate reading. I always suggest if you have an oral thermometer and a rectal thermometer, keep them separately so we don't mix them up. So it's very important. So it's important to know what your temperature is because it helps us understand and quantify where you're at and how we can help you. So definitely having that in mind.
What about
the forehead
this one?
ones aren't as accurate. And also the sticker ones that we stick on our kids' foreheads, that's also not accurate because it just tests your skin temperature but not your body temperature.
Gotcha.
So you want to use the other types.
Okay.
And mercury thermometers don't use those. Our parents still have those around.
Yeah.
We have to get rid of those. Those are hazardous, and so we discarded them in the hazardous waste.
Oh my goodness, when I get home, I know what I have to do. I think I still have one. All right, so this year we're given the option of getting both the flu shot and a COVID vaccination. Should we get both?
Yeah, definitely. So we recommend that you get both. Some people are opting just to get one. The reason why is they fight different infections. So the flu vaccine is for the flu virus, influenza A and B this year. COVID is against the most common strain of COVID that's circulating right now. When we go outside in the cold weather, we wear 2 gloves. In the same way, I suggest that you get both vaccines to protect yourself against the elements and what we're seeing.
Wow. Speaking of COVID, should we still be testing like when we suspect we might have it? And are the tests still good?
It's a great question. So our test kits that we have are expiring, but the Health Canada has extended the expiry date by 2 years.
No way.
So you can still pick them up from the pharmacy or from your health clinic. It's good to test so we know what we're treating. And we actually have treatment for COVID now for those who are most vulnerable. So knowing what we have and isolating if you have it are very helpful. We don't test for influenza regularly, but we do in hospital settings, because we also have treatment. So it's good to still test if you can.
Okay.
The test may not be as accurate for the newer strains, but if it is positive, it's likely that you do have COVID. Okay. If not, it's not as clear.
Okay.
Let's talk about RSV for a second. I remember last year as a parent, it was petrifying a lot of parents because it was little kids coming down with it. So can you clarify, what is it exactly, testing for it and then vaccination for it?
Absolutely. So RSV has come up more and more for kids. We know it causes bronchiolitis, so inflammation of the airways. But we also know that it actually is one of the leading causes of hospitalization in older adults in Canada. So as a result, there is now a vaccine that's available. It just came out this summer and was approved. The challenge is that it's not available readily under public health. So some long-term care facilities are covering it, but the general and government across Canada, it's not covered yet. It's about $200. We are advocating for it to be covered because it is such a major issue for so many, and the most vulnerable don't have access to it right now because it's so expensive. So hopefully in the coming years it will be. It is available now, though, so for those who can.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, a lot of people are suffering from persistent cough, and by a lot of people, I mean me.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, what's normal when it comes to a cough?
So we often will get a cold or the flu, and we'll have a cough for about 3 to 5 days, and we're infectious during that time. And then we have this nagging cough
Lingering
that
cough.
lingers.
Yeah.
So it's very, very common. It's one of the most common reasons people come to see us. You can have this cough called a post-viral cough that can last 4 to 6, sometimes 8 weeks for some people. And it's from the inflammation that's left in your lungs after the initial infection, or something called postnasal drip. So we've got a bit of mucus in the back of our nose that goes to our throat and causes us to cough. So if that's the case, we can treat it with nasal saline rinses, some steroid sprays in the nose, or if you're prone to asthma or anything like that, you might need a puffer. The good news is that it goes away on its own, but it's nagging, it's irritating. It should improve over time, but if you have any other symptoms like a new fever, cough that's gotten really bad, you can't breathe, those are reasons again to see us.
Okay.
I really am curious about this answer you're going to give us, because I'm never do I have the stuff I need when I get a cold or flu in the medicine cabinet? It's expired, or I have to run out and get it. So what do you suggest we have in order to be prepared? And are there anything preventative that we can take, like vitamins or zinc?
Yeah, I love that, because I think at this time of year, you want to be prepared. So this is the time, let's call to action. Just go and check your medicine cabinet and make sure nothing's expired, because you don't want to be in the middle of the night and reach for something. It's not dangerous, but it will not be as effective. In terms of prevention, we use the same, we probably don't have masks in our home anymore, but it's good to stock up on some masks if you are symptomatic or your loved ones are. Vitamin D is effective if you are deficient in vitamin D. So most of us are. Living in Canada, we are. So I suggest supplementing throughout the year.
Okay.
Vitamin C has also been found to be helpful. Mixed studies, but it shows that it has been helpful if you take it regularly, not just when you're sick, to shorten the duration of symptoms. And then the other things I suggest are things like decongestants, fever and pain medicine, saline sprays, nasal sprays, and the rest of it to help keep you healthy and non-expired for this season.
Love it.
Now we're set. We're set. Dr. Sheila, this is why we love you being here. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, I hope you wrote that all down, or hit pause, rewind. We're going to take a quick break. Write it down. We'll be back right after this.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.